Hey, I was a little delayed getting in, but I'm here now. I playoffs? We're talking about playoffs?
I don't think they're gonna fall off like they did a couple years ago. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Talk about WWE Royal Rumble. Going to get into that a little bit for you wrestling fans out there. It's sports entertainment, so it's still technically sports, right? Right. All right. So let's break it down, Scott. I want to talk about what, in my opinion, was one of the greatest weekends of professional football I've seen in many, many years. Every game, to me, delivered. Um, Cincinnati game. Joe Burrows is coming of age. Cincinnati's coming of age. A lot of Cincinnati haters out there saying Cincinnati's not going to be good next year because they reached the promised land too quickly with Joe Burrows. I disagree. I think that I think they have, not mistaken, like 60 something million under the cap. I believe we'll double check that in a little bit and make sure. But with 60 million under the salary cap, and you're in the AFC Championship game after drafting Joe Burrows 2 years ago, they add some pieces to that. They're right there in the mix. I think Pittsburgh is New Baltimore. Not Pittsburgh. I'm saying I think Cincinnati is New Baltimore.
Well, the real question is who's the new Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh has, if you go back and you look through the last 2 decades, it's been Pittsburgh that's dominated this division. But yeah, I wish Cincinnati wasn't in this division. I wish you didn't have to play them twice in a year, even though we got them twice this year.
Yeah, we did.
It's not just Joe Burrow. I mean, it's really hard to cover Chase one-on-one. Creates a lot of matchup issues for any team. Do I want to see what Cincinnati does next year? Yeah, because Cincinnati could easily be the Cleveland Browns of this year, where they came out of nowhere
Very
and
true.
they're going to be the trendy pick for the Super Bowl. Well, they'll be the trendy pick for the Super Bowl this week, but they'll be the trendy pick for it next year. And you want to see what happens. The difference is, I think that Burrow is significantly ahead of Baker Mayfield as far as quarterback play. And
I highly agree with that.
I don't want to believe that, but I mean, my eyes will, you pass the eye test. And I think the best we're hoping with Baker Mayfield is that he develops into, I would say, Tony Romo, but that's not right. I think you're hoping he develops into Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith. So do I think that Cincinnati is going backwards next year? It could happen. Injuries can get anybody. What happens if you have injuries in the the first couple weeks? But I think Cincinnati's set for the long term to add pieces and to be a very good team. And I think this division is set to be extremely competitive for quite a few years. Pittsburgh might be on the outside looking in after they get rid of Big Ben next year, but quite honestly, I mean, getting rid of him might make them better. I don't know. You never know where his play has declined to. But honestly, I think next year you're looking at the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals battling it out for this division, with the typical bullies on top looking up at little brother for the next couple of seasons in this age.
So you last week we did our picks. We didn't have a show last week because of MLK Day. So what we did was I called you on the phone. You picked the game. So you had Tennessee winning over Cincinnati. You had Green Bay winning over San Fran. You had Tampa over the Rams, and you had Buffalo over KC. I had Cincinnati winning.
I went
San
over.
Fran winning. Yeah, I had Tampa Bay winning. I had Buffalo winning. So I think the shocker a lot of people are shocked because you got Brady and Aaron. I'm sorry, Aaron out of the playoffs right now, and nobody saw that coming. I had a feeling. I just had a feeling about San Fran. I don't know what it was. The way they played Dallas, the way they seemed to kind of like this term playing with house money almost. Like they didn't care. They played carefree. They weren't worried about the media, worried about the big name quarterbacks they had to go against. They just went out there and played football. Now, will they beat the Rams? I don't know, but I believe they won the last six against the Rams. Now, this is a big game. This is for all the marbles. This is for a chance to play the Super Bowl in your home stadium. It'll be the second year in a row it happens. The Rams pull it off. I don't think they're going to pull it off. I think San Fran goes in there and surprises them. You got a California team traveling to the East Coast or Midwest to play in the frozen tundra, and they pulled that game out against a Hall of Fame quarterback. LA ain't got a Hall of Fame quarterback right now.
LA doesn't have a Hall of Fame quarterback, but Matt Stafford is no slouch. Matt Stafford has always been one of the guys. Matt Stafford's always been one of the guys at the top of the second tier of NFL quarterbacks. I mean, he lived his career, played his whole career in exile in Detroit.
Exile.
In maybe the only franchise in the NFL worse than the Cleveland Browns over the last 3 decades is the Detroit Lions, but I don't even think you can actually say that because the Lions were good a few times. But he was stuck up there in exile in Detroit, and he's on a very good team right now, and he's got a lot of talent there. You got Cooper Kupp, and you got Odell Beckham Jr. as your second best wide receiver, your second best option right now. I think it'll be hard to say and to go against Los Angeles right now. But again, winning playoff games a lot of times requires the ability to run the football. And I know people are going to say, are you crazy? Look at this weekend. None of that mattered this weekend. But I wonder if Tampa Bay could have won if they could have ran the football. I wonder if Green Bay could have won if they could have ran the football effectively. You've got Tampa really didn't run effectively. 13 carries for 51 yards that game. But LA ran the ball 24 times for 48 yards. So neither team was running the football. But
it's not a running league anymore, though.
It's not a running league, but see, we'll get into this a little bit later. Just bring this back.
The quarterbacks left in there.
Yeah.
You got Burrows. You got Stanford. You got who else you got? The other two teams. Who is it? You got
Patrick Mahomes.
Who?
Pat Mahomes.
You keep skipping. Pat's different. I'm sorry. Pat can pass, but Pat's different. That guy, listen. Buffalo was hugging on the sideline. And they were all excited. They were all excited. And I was like, you know what? That's not enough time. That's too much time. 13 seconds too much time. Everybody been saying that. Everybody works there was saying the same thing. 13 seconds
should never be too much time. You shouldn't run 2 plays that get you into field goal range from that distance. It should not have been too much time.
It was nasty.
That's absurd.
I looked at it and said that's too much time for Pat Mahomes. And then on top of that, oh my God, special teams. Scott, in that situation, do you kick it into the end zone or did you script that kick? What would you do? What would your call be? I know what I would do. What would you do?
Quite honestly, I'm going to kick it into the end zone and make them go more yardage than squib kicking that.
Go again.
Then again,
you went out.
You're going to take time off the clock then if you squib the kick. But
yes,
I want to make sure that I bury them with as much yards to go as possible in that situation.
So you would kick it in the end zone?
I would kick it into the end zone, give them 13 seconds from the 25, and see what they can do.
You saw what they did.
But it's not supposed to go that way.
Because it's not supposed to, but it did, and I knew it was going to go that way. You cannot give that man time. 13 seconds is too much time for him with 3 timeouts. You script that kick, you knock off about maybe 5 seconds. So they get the ball and take a knee. Okay, they save some clock. Now, the ball would be on the 30-yard line.
Are they going to take a whole 5 seconds out in that squib kick? The squib, it still isn't going to start until someone touches the ball. They're going to touch the ball and take a knee immediately.
Okay, it's 2 seconds. It's better than
That's 2
13.
seconds. They kicked the field goal with how much time left?
3, 2, 2 or 3.
More than
2 or
enough
3.
time. I think it was
2 or
almost
3.
5 seconds left. Let me check
I
the
say you squib it.
play-by-play here.
What if you squib it and hit somebody? Then it keeps rolling.
Well,
Then you're knocking off time.
the
You got to take
world
a
were
chance.
full of
But
candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. But
I mean, it usually is. But I squib it to give me a chance to run the clock down. That's what I would do in this situation. I wouldn't just give them, oh, we got it. Let's go. That's what happened. And they went down to 2 passes and a field goal, and we're tied. Now, at the end of the show, towards the end of the show, I want to talk about bring this back up with this game because I want to talk about the overtime rules and get your thoughts on that. Because a lot of people are complaining about that today, how the NFL's overtime rules are set up. They want to be more like college, where it's kind of like you keep shooting it out till whatever somebody misses. We'll get into that a little bit later. But these games come up this Sunday for the championship. How do you view them, and who do you think will rise to the top? Do you think it'll be the upstart Cincinnati Bengals making it all the way in? Do you think they're a few years off of getting to that crown?
I want. I almost want to back up for 1 second,
It's a
but
tough question.
no, I won't. I as much as I want to tell you that I think that the Chiefs are going to win this game and probably run away with it, they didn't beat them in the last week of the regular season or the second last week of the regular season. But I do think that the Chiefs will not be as stupid this time as to leave someone. I think they learned that they cannot cover Chase one-on-one. So you're going to see some help there. You're idiotic. Look, you put your best man cover on him, and then you give him help, either leverage zone coverage inside, or you've got coverage over the top outside. You've got to let him know that it's a man zone combo coverage, so that you know that you have help, and you know where you have that help to, and take him away. But if they're dumb enough to just man up on him and say, go take Chase away, then they deserve to lose the game. But I have said from the start here that I think Cincinnati needs some playoff experience to be ready for all the marbles. The lights are going to get really bright on Sunday, and they're not taking anyone by surprise this week. They're going to be the trendy pick,
Yeah.
but Pat Mahomes has been here before. The Kansas City
4 in a
Chiefs have
row.
been here before. Right. Andy Reid has been here forever and a day, whether it's with Kansas City or with the Eagles. So all of that stuff about knowing how to win a big football game falls on the side of the Kansas City Chiefs. And if all things are equal, and I think all things are pretty close to being equal here, then I got to give the edge to Kansas City. Got to give the edge to the experience. You got to give the edge to the veteran team that has been there before.
Is there any word on a condition of Honey Badger? He went out early in the game. Did they say if he was out for this game, or they don't know? That's another factor you got to look at. It's one of the better secondary guys. And like you said, Chase is a problem. I think it comes down to Cincinnati's O-line. D-line, not so much, because they can go out there. They had reserves playing last week because they had a lot of guys out. Obajobi was out. Their linebacker core was decimated pretty much. They had their second-string linebackers in there. They even had somebody playing middle linebacker that doesn't play middle linebacker at all. Special shout out to my boy Clay Johnson, who I coached at Fairview, and now he is playing for the Bengals and made a tackle to stop a 2-point conversion. Very proud of you, young man. Keep it going. That's another issue. If Cincinnati's defense can stop the running game of KC, they have a shot. Because I don't think Kansas City defense can stop Joe Burrow. So you're looking at another shootout. That's what I think. I think whoever got the ball last gonna win the game. But it all depends on how defensively Cincinnati's front line plays.
I'm gonna say something else here, though. I think the team that runs the ball more efficiently might actually win this game, because you'll give your defense some time to breathe, and you might limit the number of counter punches the other team can throw. I'm gonna go contrarian here and say that in an insane way here, the team that runs the ball more consistently, effectively, and probably more might end up winning this game.
I think that Cincinnati has a problem with the speed of the offense of Kansas City, the trick plays, the the receiver coming out of the backfield running jet sweep, stuff like that. That's an issue that they have to contain. If they can't do that, then it's a long day for him. Again, Joe gonna get his yards and probably get some scores. Chase and Joe gonna get together and go off. I firmly believe that.
How do you
But
stop
can
him?
they outdo him? That's the problem. You can't stop him, so you got to outduel him. It's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a shootout similar to the one we saw with Buffalo game. High scoring
But
game,
to
back and
me,
forth.
in a game where all things are close to equal, and look, man, go position by position. Is Joe Burrow better or is Pat Mahomes better? I got to give the edge to Mahomes right now.
Right now,
As
yes,
good as
but
Burrow, I got to give the
Joe's
edge to
coming up
Mahomes.
fast.
Tyreek Hill versus Chase. I think I got to give the edge to Tyreek Hill.
You're going by experience though. That's why I give the edge to him. It's
I'm not
experience.
even, I don't know if I'm going by experience. I mean, Tyreek Hill consistently is a really unguardable guy.
But again,
At most, it's a toss-up. Position by position, where does Cincinnati, aside from overall the wide receiver position, Cincinnati's probably got the edge. But if all things are close to equal or equal, in my mind, and this is conservative old Scott, I'm going to give the edge to the team playing at home that has played that big game before than against this team that hasn't been there yet. You gotta. But how did that fare with Tom Terrific on?
What was LA doing? Oh, Scott, you're very attractive. Gosh.
Oh.
What in the hell was LA trying to do? You're up 20-3 against Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champions at their house. And you just studied, let's like turn over this, turn over that. Let's catch up. Let's come on, catch up with us. What was going on? They were choking. They got ahead of themselves. It's almost they lost focus of the game. They thought they had it and lost focus. That's
Tom Brady was trying to repeat his heroics in Atlanta a couple years back.
It was rough to watch. I mean, Tampa Bay pulled that off. It would have been something else. Seriously. Funny stat for you though. Every time the Bills and Chiefs play each other in the playoffs, the winner of that game goes to the Super Bowl and has lost the Super Bowl in that year. Now, that being said,
I think that changes this year.
I think Cincinnati gonna pull this off and go, man. I really do. And I'm not nothing to do with my fanism of Save Ohio or Joe Burrow. It's just because I think they just running their wave right now and they're gonna ride it through. And I think that KC, I'll put it this way: if KC don't make no mistakes, they'll take it. But if Cincinnati plays a solid game without penalties, Chase and Joe Burrow, they're gonna put on the show. They're gonna put on the show. It's gonna be hard to stop them guys. So we'll see what happens with that game. So out of the AFC, I think Cincinnati gonna go in there and they go into the Super Bowl. That's what I believe. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. I'm excited to watch the game. Like that doesn't happen a lot with the playoffs. Usually, I get bored with the playoffs because it's the same old stuff. It's new teams in there. It's young quarterbacks going at it for the first time. It's an exciting time to be an NFL fan. So, what are your thoughts on the second game?
I don't think it can live up to the hype of this Cincinnati game, Cincinnati Kansas City game. Because if you like dynamic quarterback play, that's going to be the game for you. I would tell you the same thing that I said last week that Green Bay will just roll over San Francisco because of the way Aaron Rodgers is playing and the level that he's playing at. But I don't see that San Francisco has enough firepower to beat this Rams team, but I didn't see that San Francisco had enough firepower to beat the Packers last week. But I'm going to stay with the Rams. I think the Rams are the more complete, balanced, dynamic offense, and I think that San Francisco is going to struggle to score enough points to beat LA, and I think you're asking for a very tall task for your defense to go in 2 weeks in a row and pitch that shutout.
So let me get this straight. You don't think that San Francisco 49ers have the firepower to beat the LA Rams?
I don't think they're going to go in there and put up enough points to beat the LA Rams. That's what I'm saying.
What's different? then they played them twice this year and beat them twice this year. What changed? This question, what changed? Because I knew this happened before. I thought I heard this last week. The 49ers had defeated the Rams 6 consecutive times, 3 sweeps in the regular season. They haven't beat them in 3 years. They swept the series the last 3 seasons. What's going to change on Sunday? They beat them twice this year, twice the year before. It's like they're it's like the LA Rams or Cleveland and then San Francisco, Pittsburgh. They can't beat them. Now, granted, emotions play into the game. You get hyped up, you get all excited. It's for all the marbles. But that's got to be ringing in their heads that they haven't beat these guys in 3 years. 3 years. Will it be 7 in a row? Or will they finally get over the hump? I think you're looking at a San Francisco Cincinnati Super Bowl. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna go out right now.
A rematch.
I'm gonna go out right now.
Without Broadway Joe or
on
Joe.
January 24th, 2022, episode 15 of Hill Talk Sports. I'm saying San Fran, Cincinnati Super Bowl. I haven't gone further. Joe Burrow gets a ring in year 2. There we go. Bold prediction.
Well, I think whoever comes out of the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl. I do. Because I think the best teams in the NFC have already gone down. If you'd have told me that the Packers were going to play the Bengals, I'd have been with the Packers. If you'd have told me that the Bengals were going to play Tampa Bay, I'd have said, I'd have gone with Tampa Bay. But
hell of a game, though.
I think that the best 2 teams in the NFC are already, and say the best team doesn't lose, but I think the best 2 teams have already gone down, and I think that whoever was left, the AFC was the dominant division this year, the dominant conference. Whether it was the Bills, whether it was the Chiefs, whether it was the Bengals, you were stacked, and I don't see either of the 2 teams remaining going in and beating either of these 2 teams. But then again, maybe you get, one of these teams comes out of here, plays really physical, smash mouth football. Matt Stafford sees his last chance ever to win a championship and has the game of his life.
That could happen.
It could happen.
That could happen.
I got no good answer for why they beat them this time. They're due.
I mean, any given Sunday, but I'm going with the live in their head rent free kind of scenario. I just think 3 seasons in a row, you can't beat these guys, home or away, doesn't matter. They beat you in San Fran, they beat you in LA. They don't care. They're just beating your ass. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that and say that they're gonna do it again. I got San Fran winning this. I had San Fran beating Green Bay. Nobody believed me. Everybody was like, "You crazy?" I'm like, something about San Fran this year. I did actually say this. I said if Joey Bosa is healthy, because he got hurt week before, I said if Joey Bosa is healthy, I'm giving the victory to San Fran because he'll gonna give Aaron Rodgers a hard time. Aaron Rodgers, he's cool, calm, collected, but he gets rattled. Remember, he made a comment about Myles Garrett on the Peyton Manning thing for Monday Night Football, and he said, "Yeah, Myles Garrett is a beast." Blah blah blah. And he goes, even on one leg, that's the game he hurt his groin against Green Bay. He said, even on one leg, I was terrified. So Bosa's healthy. And Bosa, they got a different kind of rush to me. Myles Garrett's more of a stand-up kind of rush. He doesn't seem to get off the ball as fast as I like him to. Joey Bosa gets off the ball quick, fast. He's just going like a missile. Myles Garrett is more of a stand-up, hit you in the chest, try to do a swim move on you kind of guy. Bull rush every now and then, but I like a rusher that's getting low to the ground and just comes at your hip. That's a better rusher than me. I'm not saying that Joey Bosa is a better player overall than Myles Garrett. What I'm saying is his get off initially on the offensive lineman is better than what I like to see from Myles Garrett there. Got some comments here? No comments? Let me get some comments coming in. All right.
I don't see anything new in
that's close. Okay. All right. So look, let's dive out of football for a minute. We'll come back to the whole overtime thing towards the end here. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are playing the New York Knicks currently right now. And it is 7:52 left in the fourth quarter, and your Cleveland Cavaliers are winning 86-77 against the New York Knickerbockers. New York is 23-24. Cavaliers are 28-19, Scott. It is almost time for the All-Star break. And the Cavaliers are 28-19 and are currently my phone loading up here, the 5th seed in the East with the winning percentage of .596, 2 games out of first place overall in the East, 13-9 at home, 15-10 on the road. They have won 1 in a row. In the last 10, they're 7-3, and this is without one LeBron James. Did you ever think the day would come when LeBron James is still playing in the league that would see the Cavaliers this relevant this time of the year?
No, I did not. I thought they had some good young talent with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, and you still had some veteran leadership there, and I thought this could be a team that could approach 500, but it's just all come together this year.
Oh my God.
Darius Garland is playing at an amazingly high level in your prototypical point guard type of way, where he's scoring, averaging 19, 9, 20 points a game and distributing the ball. Like, he has 12 assists tonight and 10 points on 5 of 16 from the field. So yeah, is he off on his shooting? Yeah, but he is distributing the ball. Evan Mobley, to me, looks like I want to say a poor man's version of Kevin Durant, because no one's Kevin Durant, but that sounds like a backhanded insult to him. But what a pick you've got there. And Kevin Love has just grown into I'm going to come off the bench and be the veteran. 20 points, 11 rebounds tonight in 22 minutes for Kevin Love.
He's playing free. There's no pressure.
Yep.
You had LeBron and Kyrie, you had pressure to be the guy and be the third option and stuff. And then you turn around and now he doesn't have to play that role. He's a veteran, showing leadership in the locker room, helping out when he can. I love it.
Yep. And
Bengals by 3. Yes.
You have veteran. This team runs so deep. Right now they've got 10 guys out there tonight, and Jarrett Allen isn't out there. And just the guys that you've got to step up without having a bona fide superstar on this team at the moment. It's refreshing basketball to watch. And are they a player away from winning it all? Yeah, they're not. I don't see that they're going to win this all this week or this year. I don't see they're going to win it all this year. People tell me,
oh, no.
Would you want LeBron back? And when I say yes, everyone gets mad at me. But yes, I'd like LeBron back, because I think that does make them an immediate NBA Finals contender, and they probably win it and take it down with him.
What?
But, I'd take LeBron back in 2 seconds.
Oh, why?
As long as they're not asking me for Garland or Mobley, I would take LeBron back.
But they're going to. Who?
Maybe not.
Who in the blue hell would the Lakers trade LeBron back to the Cavaliers to get? They're going to want the house.
Yeah, you'd have to trade picks, and you'd have to give up Colin Sexton for sure.
If they trade LeBron for Sexton, that's an insult to LeBron.
No, it would be a couple picks, LeBron James, probably Okoro, and LeBron James. It would be Okoro and Colin Sexton and a couple of picks. And they'd probably want to come snooping around for Mobley, but I wouldn't. That's where I'd draw the line probably. But if I could get LeBron James back reasonably for picks and Sexton and Okoro and someone else, I'd do it.
Good. He had his chance. He was here twice.
Yeah, but look, he's still
don't get me wrong, he's
the best
still
player
a beast.
in the NBA.
I think he will mess up the chemistry of this team.
He always messes up the chemistry, but he's so good
to
win anyway.
Back then?
Because the man went to 8 straight NBA finals.
Yeah, I know.
And the 2 years that he didn't go to a finals with LA, either he was hurt or half the team was hurt.
Okay. And
the man took Tristan Thompson, Matthew Dellavedova, old James Jones, and I believe young Jetty to a 2-1 lead.
The under 500, 23 and 24. 14 games out. They got to play. They're in a playoff scenario, right? Play-in scenario right now.
They're a mess there right now. They are a mess.
Him back. Now, don't get me wrong. I love what he did for the city. I do. I appreciate it. He will always be the man for what he did for our city because I cried when we won. I shed tears like a little baby. I did because I've never thought I would see a championship in my lifetime in Cleveland. It was great, but I don't want him back because I, for the first time, I've always said it back in my head that the Cavaliers build it like Golden State did. They drafted their players, they brought them all in. Now, yeah, Golden State traded for Durant down the road, but he left again. And Golden State's still good with the core of players they drafted. Cleveland is doing it right. Draft young players, have them together, let them develop, and look what they at right now. They about to beat the Knicks, win 30 games before the All-Star break. Hear me when I said this.
What do you
The
do with
Cleveland
Colin Sexton when
Cavaliers.
he comes back?
I mean, if you can get something for him, worth something, an extra piece to the puzzle, you probably dump him because honestly, do we need him? Not really. 87-84 update on the game. 87-84 Cavaliers. 4:35 left in the fourth quarter.
Is Sexton? I see Lewis saying that. Is Sexton new God, I can't think of his name right now.
He's expendable. Put it that way.
No, the other guard, Dion Waiters. Is he new Dion Waiters?
Oh,
Who
ouch.
just isn't gonna fit, and
Ouch.
Meon Waiters always wanting to get his numbers,
Ouch.
but he's better. But I think Colin Sexton's better than Dion Waiters would ever be. But
I mean,
I think they're gonna move Colin. I think they are.
I think so too. I think it's done deal. They're gonna move him.
And
Definitely
and
gonna move
and
him.
and this is I don't like this, and people are gonna say I'm crazy here, but I think they're gonna move Kevin Love in a deal too to get a piece.
I mean, you save money.
Yeah. Now,
The contract's still big. Who want that contract though?
you
You got a
remember
percent
when
contract.
he came here? The fans were like, "We gotta get rid of Kevin Love. He was the one they wanted out.
Yeah,
Kevin Love, can we get rid of the? And everyone thought he would be the one moved every year. That he would be the one moved, and it was
yeah.
Kyrie. Then it's LeBron, and all these years later, who's still here? Who's the only one still here?
Give him love.
Kevin Love.
I didn't think LeBron. I mean, I knew LeBron was leaving. I thought he would leave. Well, I think I heard a rumor LeBron's plan was to leave the team to Kyrie, but Kyrie is a weird cat. But sometimes Kyrie says stuff that make a lot of sense when you break it down.
I read
Um,
something at one point that LeBron had to be talked into coming back for another year after the first championship. He was ready to be out after the first championship because he just wasn't where he wanted to be anymore. The thing with him and Dan Gilbert was never healed, and he just thought that there were better horizons for him. But he was talked into
um,
coming back the next year
I'm at a cigar
and
lounge.
signing that extension.
I'm at a cigar lounge, and there was a man there who was friends with J.R. Smith, and I'm friends with so and so. Yeah, sure, right. Pull his phone out, sure as hell. Him and J.R. at the range shooting the guns. Okay, come. And he looked at me and said, "I got something to tell you." I'm like, yeah, LeBron going to the Lakers. We all laughed. He said, "No, LeBron's going to the Lakers." He said it's already. He said it's already a done deal. Sure enough, he did that.
I think we knew LeBron was gone when in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think he said, "I'm trying to squeeze all the juice I can out of this orange, and I'm just going to keep squeezing." But you can't say that he quit in the team this time, like when they did the quitness beer. I mean, he did put up 51 in that game one loss when
I mean, yeah.
you should have had him. Should have been up 1-0 in that series. But anyway, this team, you're right. They're building it right. And I would like to see them continue to build this team right. Maybe get some cap space. If you can free up some cap space to bring a big name here, a piece that fits, because you're a superstar away probably from. I don't want to dismiss Darius Garland that way, and I don't want to dismiss what Mobley can grow into. But you're an elite top 5 NBA player away from being
Come on,
able
boys.
to say, we can be a competitor here.
Hold on to this game, baby. Hold on to this game. 3:37 left in the fourth. 90-84. Cavaliers looking to close in on their 30th win of the
I got
season
90 to
before the All-Star
89 with
break.
250 left, T.
Oh, I ain't update that. That's scary. Okay, come on, boys. You got to hold on. Knicks went back late. I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. All right, so we're going to talk real fast about something that we both love. Because for those of you who don't know, Scott and I used to do a podcast about wrestling. Now, hopefully, we don't lose you guys right now, but it's sports entertainment, and it's a big event coming up this weekend. So we gotta talk about it. It is none other than the Royal Rumble match. Royal Rumble match is when they have 30 people in the ring, and you can throw them over the top rope, and the winner gets a championship match of his choosing or her choosing at WrestleMania, which is a Super Bowl of wrestling. This is like the AFC Championship game of wrestling. This is like one of those games. So the setup for WrestleMania has begun. A lot of different storylines out there right now, going back and forth. Scott, I don't know how much you've been watching of it, how much you've been seeing, because I know for a while I stepped back on it because the writing was so horrible.
T, I gotta be honest with you. It's been before COVID since I watched wrestling.
Oh,
I think Kofi Mania. I think Kofi Mania was the last time
Kofi
I'm
was the
paying
champ?
attention. Yes, when
Wow.
Kofi Mania was going on.
The funny thing about Kofi winning the championship is kind of a big deal because he was only the second black champion in WWE. The first one was The Rock. Um, since then, there have been two more. So Vince is expanding on the diversity of the belt. So
I'll tell you how long I've been gone. I didn't even know Braun Strowman wasn't in the WWE anymore.
yeah, he's in some independent thing right now.
Yeah.
He's not even with AEW. He went somewhere else. He didn't want to. I think he's trying to start his own thing or something. He's doing something with EC3 or whatever his name is. I forgot. But it's really whatever he's doing is like ECW type stuff. Very violent. It's ridiculous what they do in the ring. Um, so the rumor is Ronda Rousey will return at the Royal Rumble, which I can see her coming back for one match, or she might come back full time. She had her kid. She had her baby already. Um, who was that? Becky Lynch came back after having her kid, but Becky Lynch looks very different. Put it that way. Um, the storylines right now, I think I still watch wrestling right now, is because I watched it as a kid and it's kind of still in me to see what happens. I find myself most of the time fast forwarding through the whole show just to watch the matches of the people I like to see. If it's a match where it's a technical wrestler or something like that, I'll watch that match, see what kind of moves they do. But for the most part, one I think I watched it one night and it was literally wrestling comes on at 8 o'clock. I think the first match was 8:45.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
yeah, y'all just talking. Like, come on, man.
But are they back to doing good shoots?
Somewhat. Roman Reigns cut a promo with Seth Rollins last week. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Roman's
When
character right now is fire though. That's the
when
thing.
you have talent and people who can do a shoot, it's better
It's
to have
entertaining. Yes.
more talk than matches.
Yes.
But
If you could do it right. Um, Roman does it pretty good. Finally, because I remember John Cena ripped him a few years ago because he couldn't cut a promo for nothing.
well,
Um,
John Cena still can't cut a promo for nothing. I mean,
have you
that's
seen Peacemaker yet?
he's
Sorry.
trying to be the new Rock. I know that, but
Have you seen it yet?
no.
I need you to watch Peacemaker. I need your thoughts on that. It's 4 episodes in. Just when you get a chance, check it out. It's hilarious. Like I think he's on his way because it's funny
From
stuff.
Darius Garland, 94-91 Cavaliers, 123 left to go. The Knicks take
Let's
a
go.
timeout.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Deep in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
I like the Q better.
I do too.
Deep in the Q. It sounds better.
Yeah.
Deep in the field house. That sounds like the beginning of a bad 80s porn. Sorry. Deep in the field house. Come on, man. Really? Deep in the Q. That's much better. That's more sports. I think so anyway. But
It's
let me
like
know what
it'll
you
always
guys
be
think.
the Jake to me. It'll never be Progressive Field or whatever they rename it to at some point in time. But always be the Q.
Who is this? Office 467.
Marshall, you still play with your 6-inch action figures in the bathtub. I can
I can
almost
take that joke somewhere
visualize
else,
this,
but I ain't
buddy.
gonna do it right now. I can take that so many different ways, but I ain't gonna do it right
Yeah,
now.
knowing Marshall did that on purpose. He
That was
knew
awesome.
exactly
That
what
was
he was
awesome.
crafting when
That
he
was
said
awesome.
that, man.
That was awesome. I'm sorry. That was a funny ass. That was funny too. All right. I got me coughing now. So look,
Marshall's sitting there and he's like, instead of like Billy Madison, shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner. Marshall's in there with like Hulk Hogan. Get over here, Andre the Giant. No, you get over here. What you gonna do, brother? When Hulkamania introduces you to Jake the Snake under the water. What?
That got weird. That got weird right there. I pictured that, and I didn't like that. Made me feel kind of dirty. I'm sorry. Ugh. I'll take a shower now. All right. So look, Royal Rumble this Saturday night, and it makes sense. A lot of pay-per-views have been on Saturday night lately. But this weekend it makes sense because you got the championship games on Sunday, and why would you go against them? That's stupid.
You're streaming on Peacock too.
You know what happened with that, right?
No.
They sold the network to Peacock. ABC owns WWE Network now. The rumor is WWE will sell eventually to NBC.
The whole company. Perfect sense. And it makes perfect sense for NBC. If you're trying to build a streaming platform, you've got to have a cornerstone. And why are you going to pay for Peacock? They've got The Office, and now they've got The Office, Saturday Night Live, and the WWE.
WWE Network was $9.99 a month when it was WWE owned it. Peacock owns it. It is now $4.90 a month.
Yeah. Oh, it's all these streaming networks, man. I'm going to be consolidating soon because I'm starting to figure out the ones that I don't need.
You still got cable?
I have DirecTV Stream instead of cable.
Interesting.
Because it lets me keep getting live sports, and it's one of the few streaming networks that have the Cavaliers.
Hulu has live sports.
Hulu has live. That's what Baker Mayfield tells me.
Hey, you need to give me money for that, though. We got to pay us for that. No more shout-outs. But seriously, though, I have different streaming networks that I use. I got cable like a year ago, and it's great. It's great.
If I'm not watching sports, I almost never have cable on. I have cable for sports. Mobley, you got to make one of those 2 foul shots. You can't with 48 seconds left brick them both.
Come on, man.
What?
Score? What score? Update. The Scott Kennedy
94-91 with 40 seconds left, and it is New York ball. Rajon Rondo's looking at the score. I think there's going to be a foul on Rajon Rondo. It is a foul on Rajon Rondo.
Come on, man.
Yeah. He's a weird-looking dude. I'll just say that.
Leave Rondo alone.
Remember they call Ray Allen the alien?
No comment.
No, it wasn't Ray Allen. It was, who was the alien? I can't think of his name now.
Talking about Bosch?
No.
Chris Bosch?
Someone out there help me out. He's the defensive specialist.
Oh, Rodman.
No, not Rodman.
You said alien defense specialist. I'm thinking about Dennis Rodman.
93, 94. I got to look it up. Basketball player named the alien.
All right, look. So, just to make sure you understand this about the Royal Rumble real quick, because who knows who's in it right now. I can't predict the winner, but one of the matches I do want to discuss and get your opinion on is the match they're having. Okay. Oh, yeah. I can see that. The match that they're having has never happened before, and it's been in the works for many, many years. So,
10 seconds left. New York with the ball.
What we got?
I can't do play-by-play. Oh, 3-pointer in the air. Rims out. Rebound Cavs. Timeout. 2 seconds left. I got to stop, otherwise it's play-by-play.
Score.
And it is 94-93 Cavaliers basketball.
Jesus Christ, that's tight. All right. So, basically, the match is...
Sweaty palms time. Sorry, I'll shut up.
The match is Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, finally. Now, there was a Fatal 5-Way a month or so ago, and it featured Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar. Because Roman Reigns was out with COVID. So it's supposed to be Brock against Roman. He had COVID. They moved Brock over to Raw to fight for the belt. He won the belt. Brock gave F5s to everybody except Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley had all the offense in the match. Put him through the barrier. Put him in the hurt lock. So I think they're trying to build the match up to have Bobby dominate that early part so they can have a match that's more towards Brock winning at the Royal Rumble. but I don't think Brock's going to win the match clean. I think it'll be interference to set up a rematch at WrestleMania. I think what's going to happen is Bobby's going to lose that match, get into the Rumble, win the Rumble, then face Brock. But another rumor is this. You have Roman
1.3 seconds left. Cavs up 95-93. Mobley split the pair.
Okay.
And 1.7 seconds left. Nick's ball in a timeout right now.
All right. So, love the play-by-play in color analysis here. So what happens is I think that Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, takes it back to Raw, and then Brock goes to SmackDown with the WWE Championship to put the main belt on Fox. It's all about money now. Take the main belt off USA.
What does NBC think about that, though?
Huh?
What does NBC think about that?
NBC don't have a horse in the race. They don't care.
They own the WWE Network. That's Peacock.
So what? Doesn't matter. They can play SmackDown or Raw. They can play SmackDown or Raw because you got USA and you got Fox. They just have the network right now. So all the airing pay-per-views.
Okay.
So no matter where the belt at, they get it anyway. But Fox wants the main belt on SmackDown Friday nights. A better way to do that is to have Brock come over with the belt. Fight Roman. Roman gets it back at WrestleMania. That's how I think it's going to go. Wow. We got the whole list of everybody in here.
Here comes the inbounds. We've got.
Come on.
Run them off this 3-point line. 3-pointer's the only thing that beats you. No fouls outside of 3-point line. Run them off the 3-point line. Make them get an ugly shot here.
You're watching this live, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Only
on Hilltop
Sweaty
Sports.
Palms time. Defend the inbounds pass. Here we go. Way out front. Terrible inbounds pass. Desperation heave. No good. No good. Cavs win. Whoa. Cavs win.
30 wins before the All-Star break without LeBron.
This was the most idiotic inbounds pass I've ever seen. You need 2 points to tie the game, and they inbounded the pass out at the logo, running away from the hoop. So he basically...
Wait a minute. Hold on. We can bet on wrestling now? We can bet on wrestling now.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It's predetermined.
But if you have insider information, you win a lot of money.
Which is why I can't believe you can bet on this.
It's awesome. Because they know because look, this is going to determine how the storylines go now.
I want to know what the juice is on this. What do you
mean The Rock? Why is The Rock even featured? Rock ain't gonna be at Royal Rumble.
The Rock will never wrestle again. He's worth too much money.
Whoa. No, he is. Him and Roman got to fight. He gonna fight his cousin.
Yeah, I mean, The Rock is making so much money. Any wrestling match that he's in is going to be terrible because he can't risk hurting himself.
He's going to come and wrestle because the payout from NBC is going to be so big he can't turn it down.
Is it? Hold on. How much money did
Vince
The Rock make?
Vince is playing with NBC money now. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He's firing people to save money, which is crazy, I think. He's firing top tier wrestlers, but at the same time, he's firing guys to make money. It's kind of crazy. What are you looking up?
The Rock made $42 million in 2021. So if Vince is going to pay him to wrestle, he's got to pay him enough money to pass on that $42 million that he'll make in a year, and that if he hurts himself and can't act the next year, that it's worth it.
You understand he tore like a big ass muscle in his leg and continued to act.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If The Rock doesn't have any projects lined up, he's going to get back in the ring for a match.
Yeah, but The Rock is...
If he has projects lined up, he won't.
He's the most sought-after male lead in Hollywood.
Doesn't matter. If he ain't got a project for 2 months, he's going to go ahead and do that. If you got a chance to mainline WrestleMania with your cousin, so you could tell Black Adam 2, hey, I'm going to take a couple months off and do this with my cousin real quick. Okay, we're going to start shooting in June. When you match it. Matches in March. All right,
I don't
we'll
know
do
if
it.
they're gonna do that, man. These are productions with $300 and $400 million budgets that
But if he
cannot be
doesn't,
delayed. They're banking on the fact that the lead is going to be healthy. I'm not
what
sure
if
they'd let
nothing
him out
lined
of the
up?
contract to do
I
it.
don't think it's any projects right now. I think he's done everything. I think he's done for a minute.
Let me check. I don't think I would be
if he's
shocked.
at the Rumble, he's wrestling at WrestleMania. Or go make
I
an
think
appearance.
you
At
might
least.
get some things like he did with Ronda Rousey, where he just fires
maybe.
everybody up. But
Could be.
I don't think you're ever going to see him get in the ring and wrestle in a real match. Anything other than that horrible squash match that The Undertaker did against John Cena a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But let's see. Let me find his IMDb page. And let's see what Mr. Dwayne Johnson is up to. But I saw like Rey Mysterio is going to be in the Royal Rumble with, it looks like, is that his son?
Yeah, I like that.
People are rumoring that Paige is coming back, but I don't think that's happening.
Unless her neck got fixed, but then we didn't know Edge's neck was fixed either, so it could go either way. It might happen.
Yep. I saw Lita's coming back again.
What
no, Marshall. No.
No, Marshall. No, Marshall. Marshall being naughty right now. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's nothing for Mr.
No,
Marshall.
Marshall keeping the PG right now.
For Marshall?
We'll do a Hill Talk Sports After Dark for you, Marshall. You get dirty. All right, so real fast, we almost.
I'll take a vacation that week. That can be the you and Marshall show.
All right, so up against the wall here. So real quick, let's double back here. I want to discuss real fast and get your thoughts on the current overtime situation in the NFL because a lot of people are complaining about that, and they feel like the Bills got screwed. I feel like I got mixed feelings about it. It's set up to where Kansas City goes down, they stop them, fourth and whatever, kick a field goal, boom. Okay, we're about a field goal. So, so now, what is that?
Oh my God.
Hilarious. That was classic. Threw me off, man. Threw me off on that one.
Hit the people's elbow with. Oh man.
Oh. Anyways, I'm about to go dirty here. Let me stop. Keep it clean. Gotta keep it clean. PG. All right. So look. Say Kansas City goes down, kicks a field goal, right? Now Buffalo has a chance to respond. Either a touchdown, field goal, and they keep going till whoever wins. I like that, but then I kind of like the way it's set up to where if you can't stop me, you deserve to lose.
Yeah. So this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show, in that you said it's a passing league, but it can't be a run-dominated league anymore. You know, you're really never going to go back to 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But if you can run the ball 47% of the time, 46% of the time, and run the ball effectively, and give your defense some time to breathe and rest so that they're not exhausted at the end of the game, that might give you a better chance in this situation. Look at how many points were scored at the end of that Bills and Kansas City game. Yes. What that means, you're not scoring at that frenetic of a pace unless you have two defenses that are absolutely gassed and have no chance. If Buffalo gets the ball first, they win. If Kansas City gets the ball first, they win. Those defenses had absolutely nothing left in those moments. And that's why Kansas City was able to go 40 yards, 45 yards in 2 plays in 5 seconds. Because, or in 8 seconds, whatever it was, because the defenses were destroyed. And so that's always been the downside of it. People talked about, the downside when Oregon would try to play 80 plays a game. It's fantastic. You score a ton of points, but you can't stop anyone at the end of the game if you need to, because your defense is absolutely annihilated. You're out there scoring in a minute and a half, and your defense is then going out there for 5-6 minutes and gets a minute and a half of a break. And that's how you can collapse in games, because your defense is exhausted. But to what you were really talking about with the running game, or with the overtime, I like overtime in the NFL the way it is. Win the flip, get the ball. If you score a touchdown in your first possession, it's over. If you score only a field goal, they have a chance to come back down and score a field goal to keep it going. Next score wins, or a touchdown to keep it going. I don't like sudden death because it's too easy to kick a field goal. You need a couple first downs and boom, field goal range. But does it need to go? Do I like this college football shootout thing? No. That game against the Bills and the Chiefs might have went to like 16 overtimes and been 97 to something before you got off that field that night. At some point, if you're going to take defense out of the game entirely, it becomes arena football. And I never really thought arena football was that entertaining to watch. Give me defense. I don't want to watch games that are 7-6, but give me a real night, that 19-16 game. Those are Cincinnati and Tennessee. Those are great games to watch. Give me games like that. I'd rather watch a game like that all day. Everyone's telling me, again, I missed a lot this weekend. I was playing flag football with Marshall on Saturday during a lot of this, and I was out and running around with the home inspection in the morning, all kinds of stuff going on this weekend. It was nonstop. But I guarantee you that everyone's saying, did the Bills and the Chiefs play the greatest NFL football game ever? I would say no. Because if you have zero defense going on in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the game, I'm not thoroughly entertained. I enjoy watching good defense.
Marshall says, with these teams having the future quarterbacks, do you think Baker is enough moving forward? I'm gonna say this about Baker. Like I said before in the last show, I'm on the fence with Baker right now. I feel like we gotta give Baker a fifth year with him healthy, shoulder repaired, little bumps and bruises all fixed up, completely healthy. If Baker Mayfield comes out next year healthy and plays the way he did this year, we have to move on. Now,
Absolutely.
should the Browns get a backup plan and set up though? Probably. Will that piss Baker off? So what? We're not here to make friends. We're here to win championships. So if you get mad, we bring somebody else in to compete with you or be the heir when you get out of here, get over it. Then pull a Garoppolo. Go out there and say, why are you drafting him? Because we're going to replace you. And then ball out. Do that. Because he sat there like this. Oh, you got him? Okay, I'm going to show you something. Now we're in championship game. A team we beat 6 times in a row. We're about to play them on Sunday for a 7th possible chance and to go to Super Bowl. What? I think San Fran was a 4th or a 6th seed, something like that. Knocked off the top seed. They did that with Garoppolo, the guy they wanted to get rid of. Now, bring somebody in for Baker. Let Baker look at him and go, okay. Funny story, I had a kid back a few years ago. They brought a quarterback in from Avon. Guy was a beast. In the weight room. I said, who was that? Kid was like, new quarterback. The other quarterback that was already in the roster said, no, he's my backup. I'm the quarterback. You got to have that mentality. The mentality is, you're not taking my spot. So Baker can either ball out next year and hold his spot and get that contract he wants so bad, or suck and get out of here.
Well, if I could get Russell Wilson or I could even get Aaron Rodgers for a season, they're right on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl with some better quarterback play.
Rodgers ain't coming here.
No, and that's the thing. You're not. Your options next year, I mean, you want Kirk Cousins?
I think they want Derek Carr. His name is here. Derek
Carr, again, I would bring Derek Carr in and let him compete, or I'd move Baker Mayfield for Derek Carr. I'm at the point where I think Baker Mayfield's ceiling is a guy I talked about earlier, Matt Stafford. It might be the best Baker Mayfield can get. If he can become Matt Stafford, I'm happy.
Have you noticed something about Baker Mayfield? Year 1, great. Year 2, sucked. Year 3, great. Year 4, sucked.
So he's like he's the opposite of the Star Trek movies. Star Trek movies that are an odd number are terrible. The even numbers are good. So
we'll see what happens.
No, I think Baker Mayfield has to take big steps at reading and recognizing where he's going to go with the ball. Baker Mayfield gets into the huddle and he's made up his mind before the snap where he's going with the ball. He really has. I mean, he's reading the defense and he's trying to figure out where he's going. You rarely ever see Baker come off of his reads. Look at the interception he threw against, I want to say Pittsburgh, where he just heaved it into double coverage and he had a walk-in touchdown underneath almost for days. Baker isn't reading out what happens after that ball is snapped. So it kind of becomes semi-easy to confuse Baker by showing him something in a pre-snap look that's not going to be there immediately post-snap. And I said last year, Baker was most effective when he was rolling out and he only had to read half the field. Baker has always been most effective when you limit the decisions he has to make to 1 or 2. And I think that's a lot of why I would love to give Stefanski the excuse. That's why he went so much 13 personnel and was running 3 tight ends. But look, Baker's got to show you that he can sit back in the pocket and get off of his pre-snap read post-snap, and that he's got to be able to be effective reading more than half the field. But is Baker good enough moving forward? Could be. If you want Baker Mayfield to win you games the way Kansas City does, if you want him to win you shootouts all the time the way that Josh Allen can, if you want him to even do what Joe Burrow can, you're barking up the wrong tree. But if you can bring back a healthy Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, and you can bring this pretty kick-ass secondary back intact, because this secondary is deep and it's good, and you add a linebacker, and you've got a nasty defense that can be top 7, top 6, and put some pressure on quarterbacks, then Baker Mayfield's good enough. He's got to stop making interceptions. Sure. He's got to move the ball. Can you win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield the way he played last year? Not in 2020, not 2021. 2020 Baker Mayfield can win a Super Bowl. 2021 Baker Mayfield,
a good running game.
Yes. 2020 Baker Mayfield cannot. 2020 or 2021, I'm sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied. 2021 Baker Mayfield will hurt his team more than he helps his team because the quarterback play was just not good. So I'm with you, TJ. I don't see, unless you can get, if you can get Derek Carr here.
You get Derek Carr here.
You get Derek Carr here and you go.
Even though, Baker.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think Derek Carr is anything more than top of the 3rd tier quarterbacks, bottom of the 2nd tier. So if I'm talking the top tier quarterbacks, I'm talking 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league at this point. You know, top tier quarterbacks in the league right now are still Brady, Rodgers, and probably Mahomes. Your 2nd tier quarterbacks, you get into, you get into the guys who are sitting in like 4 through 10. And I think that Derek Carr in his best years will be inching up towards that 10th best quarterback in the league, and in his worst years inching down. He reminds me a lot of an Alex Smith, in my opinion, on what he can do. But you're probably not going to get the horrific quarterback play that at times you got out of Baker Mayfield this year. And look, if Case Keenum's arm was a little better, I'd have given Case Keenum a try at certain points this year.
Yeah. I mean, you pay him
Keenum's arm
$7 million a year. All right, so Scott, again, I'm taking Cincinnati.
I'm taking Kansas City.
Okay, and I'm taking San Fran.
And I'm taking LA.
Well, here we go, baby. Let's see what happens next week. It sounds delicious. Hey, we'll see how many more games the Cavs can win between now and next week. We will come back next week and talk about the championship games and preview the Super Bowl. And we'll talk about who won the Royal Rumble. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see you next week on Hill Talk Sports. Out.